Welcome back. We are in episode 3 of the script. We have another guest on today. We have Tre. He's an App State commit, 3-star from North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how's it going so far? How's your day been?
Going pretty good. Just got home from school. Probably go work out and lift later today.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and kind of jumping right into it. How is obviously being a D1 commit right off the rip on its own is an accomplishment of itself. So
Yes, sir.
how is the preparation right for that going into next year?
Honestly, I've been preparing since I was like 5. I've been training, training nonstop, just making consistent sacrifices, and basically just trying to get my body right. I know for next year I'm at to gain. They want me to gain. They want me to gain at least I think 20 pounds, and right now I'm way below 20 pounds. So I'm putting on that weight right now. And then I'm just hitting the weight room hard, just training twice a day with basketball. So hopefully I can get on the course as fast as I possibly can there. Make an immediate
Hmm.
impact. Yes,
And
sir.
you said trying to gain that weight for college. How was that open your mind and realize that this is gonna be a grind? Like it's not just gonna be handed to you,
Yeah.
obviously, but that you have to really grind for it. And how has
Yeah.
that been on
I mean,
mentally?
I mean, mentally it's totally fine, but honestly, it could be kind of hard just gaining 20 pounds because it's kind of it's not a deadline, but it kind of is a deadline before like June because that's when I'm leaving June. So what is it? March now. So
Hmm.
I'm trying to just trying to gain weight as fast as I possibly can. But it's nothing mental. But it's a blessing, so I can't complain.
Yeah. And then obviously App State. You got. I know a little bit about App State, but what was the process behind committing there?
I mean, that school really felt like family in the long run, and they've been recruiting me since like sophomore summer. So like it just felt home as soon as I got on campus, and I know a lot of friends that go up there, and so I just feel like that's the place to be because I could have waited for a high major offer to come, but nowadays I just feel like with the transfer portal you have to get in where you fit in nowadays because you can easily be at one school the next day, and I mean next this year then a whole other school the next year depending on how you play.
I've been talking about that, especially with my last two guests. How even my most recent guest is hitting the transfer portal, and how
Yeah,
much it's changed the landscape of this game. In
yeah, I think
that,
it's good. I feel like it's good and bad. So
yeah, I mean, you don't see a
yeah,
lot of those. It's, I don't really want to bash on loyalty, but
yeah,
it's just you don't really see it. But you can't really blame the player for wanting to do better for their own career.
yeah, you're right about
So
that. That's a
it
good.
it yeah, I mean, it's a hard bridge to kind of pick a side on. I feel
Yeah.
like, but going through that recruitment and your whole recruitment process with all your other offers, were there any wild stories or crazy things that coaches said to you, or you're just what are you talking about right now?
Um, I think when I first was getting recruited, I think the High Point coach was telling me I was like the next the big thing, and I was like with a junior or early junior, and I think I only had like one scholarship, and I wasn't over amazed, but I didn't think anything like that. Like they were saying I could possibly just be a 4th year player and possibly go to the NBA something like that, and I'm down for that, but unfortunately the coach had left, so that changed my decision.
And I mean, kind of going back into this recruiting process, it's every kid's dream who plays some sort of sport to play at the next level. I
Yeah.
mean, it's in that's just the life, and that's what you always want. And eventually, when you got to that point when you got your first offer, what was that not mentally, but what was that like for you? Wow, I can't believe I'm here.
I mean, I think I got my first scholarship in, I want to say sophomore summer. It was like I was so worried about it leading up to that point because I seen all these players not getting offers or going to non D1 schools, like kids on my team and kids I'm playing with. So when I got that first offer, it was more like a burden off my shoulders, and after that, they started flowing in. So
Okay. And then when you got your App State offer, what was your initial reaction to that?
I mean, when I got the offer, they actually came and watched me play in this place called Rise in Greensboro. The head coach was baseline, and I had a good game, but I actually got hurt that game, so I sat the whole second half. Yeah, so I thought it was wraps. Then the coach called me. I think I was at a friend's house, and the coach like FaceTimed me. The
Oh,
head coach was like, "Hi Trey, this and that. I'm going to offer you a scholarship," and I was like, "Wow, thank you." So I was really excited about that.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I mean, you even see like with John Morant's
Yeah,
recruitment story, like how it's just crazy to see like how some of the, like these players who are huge get discovered
yeah,
that like the coach is just trying to get a bag of chips, and
yeah.
then next thing you know, he sees John Morant hooping at the gym. And he's like, "This is him."
That's
But how did your family react when you committed?
well. My family, we kind of already knew we wanted to go. Probably like 4 months, 4 months, like 4 months before I committed to the school. They just said
Hmm.
the place for me to go is just not that far from home. I could possibly play immediately when I get there. They don't have a lot of players like me, so they were hyped for it, and they hyped because they can see me play anytime they want to. It's only like an hour and a half
Yeah.
drive.
And then what's in the recruitment process that not the average fan like what's something that not the average fan or the average human realizes that is about the recruiting, but like what's something about it that most people don't realize?
What most people don't realize is that the players, I mean, the coaches don't actually they recruit you, but they also recruit your family and stuff like that, and see if you come from a good family and stuff like that. Because basically, if you come from a good family, then long term you're not gonna be mentally there. So that's why they kind of recruit the families too. And then they recruit you
Hmm.
off, see how you are off the court, how good of a person you off the court are.
Does it get overwhelming like having coaches like contact you and your family like all the time?
When the start of it, kinda, but like I think June 15th, and everybody had to. It was fun, but I think it was June 15th, and those are the days the college coaches get called. And I think it was like at 12 a.m. and they were just calling my phone. And 12 a.m. is pretty late, but it was
Yeah.
liked it though. It was a blessing at the end of the day, so I can't even complain about it.
Going into kind of like your high school career, what was a highlight of your like what was the best highlight of your career so far?
My high school might be an all-time score in my school. Something I can show my kids when I'm older.
Yeah.
That won't possibly be broken again. So probably the all-time leading score.
And then that's something that sticks.
Yeah,
Like that's just like those are records that don't get touched
yeah.
for at least for a while at least.
So my dad was saying you should go to a public school instead of a private school because at a private school they're not going to have all those records and stuff like that because it's going to be up and down. But you go to a public school, you can always show your kids that because it's not touched ever again. So
Exactly. And that's it's like making a legacy somewhere, and I feel like that's really important for a lot of young athletes and older athletes is just trying to
yeah,
make a legacy, make your name where like you can be remembered.
yeah,
And obviously you can do that at App State for like as long as you're there because it's obviously you're very close by, and then there's a lot of like connection between those.
I totally agree with that.
Um, who so far? Who's the toughest player you've had to guard?
That's hard. Um, this summer, maybe this summer when I had a guard compete, I think he just committed to Arizona. He was pretty good.
Hmm.
He was like 6'7", 6'8". He was just more. He was just really burly, and it was hard to guard him. And maybe a good one is no. Maybe either him or Isaiah Evans. Isaiah Evans is pretty hard to guard. It's him just kept hesitating one because we played him in the Final Four last year, and I had to guard him. He had to guard me, so it was a pretty good matchup.
Okay, and then playing players like that, how would you say mentally? Like, do you really put much thought into it, knowing that like they're these big name guys, or is it just kind of another day in the gym for you?
I mean, it is. I feel like sometimes I gotta psych myself up to be like, yeah, I gotta do this and that just so I can show that I'm the best player on the court because that's what I'm trying to show. I'm the best player on the court every time I'm on the court. So basically, just saying I want what they have, so I'm gonna try to outplay them for what they have. Like Isaiah Evans, he was a McDonald's All American. Mr. North Carolina, I think twice. So I wanted that. And then Cole P, I think he's a McDonald's All American too, and like a top three player in the country, and I want that too. So when I'm playing with those players, I just want to go at them and just show them that I'm here to stay and I should be just like them, basically.
Hmm. Play with high intensity because
Yeah,
I mean, especially with players like along with like as much attention as they get, that's
yeah,
what you want to play with. You want to show these coaches that you can play with the best because that's who you're going to be playing
yeah.
against, like in your college careers, like the
That's
best in the country. Um, what's the biggest improvement that you've made in your game over the last year?
definitely my shooting ability. I feel like 100% my shooting ability. So many people nowadays are still saying that they didn't know I was a shooter until now because maybe a year ago I just was not shooting good. I was just only a dunker, but now I'm a shooter. I can kind of score on all three levels now, so it's pretty good. But yeah, definitely my shooting ability.
Being a three level scorer, how do you feel like that elevates your game above other recruits coming in, or how you feel like that'll match up against like other college athletes?
I mean, me at the shooting guard position, I feel like I'm kind of a big shooting guard at 6'5", and
Hmm.
I'm athletic and very versatile. So I feel like when they come to scout me for the other teams and they have to make a scouting report, I feel like it's gonna be hard for them to say make a scouting report because he can shoot, or he can pump fake, go to a mid range, or he can pump fake, go to a dunk. So basically, just stuff like that.
I especially like with your height,
Yeah,
it's you don't. I mean, 6'5" is you can't even say it's an average shooting guard like height because it's so, there's such a big range there. But you're definitely on the taller side of the position where it's hard to guard, and that's where you see it work a lot is especially in college ball, and you have the speed to work along with it. So you're definitely going to be a problem for a lot of coaches doing that, trying to match up against you. And then, what part of your game do you think App State fans are gonna love the most?
definitely my athleticism because they don't have anybody right now. I don't really think they have anybody really crazy athletic. So I think me hyping them up with the dunks in the crowd would actually get them some type of some type of joy. So I can't wait for it.
I just saw you posted on your story the other day. You won a dunk contest.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because it was like my friends. It was my friend's dunk contest. It's my friend's brother dunk contest. Then I actually it was
Okay.
two dunk contests in one day, and my knee.
Oh,
Yeah, I won both of them, but my knees were on fire after that.
oh, I bet.
Yeah,
But you is that your favorite? What's your favorite part of your game? Is it definitely your athleticism?
yeah, definitely my athlete, 100%. Because that has been with me since like eighth grade, and it always stood out.
And then like not everyone's like has the ability to be able to. What kind of training did it take to be able to dunk at the level that you are?
I mean, honestly, people tell me all the time, what do I do? When I was in seventh grade, I think I did like every time I worked out, and I think I worked out like every other day. Like with lifting, I just did jump ropes for 5 minutes before my workout to where I did for the max. That really helped.
Okay. And kind of talking since we're on the topic about workouts, and you mentioned this earlier that you got a lift like later today. What kind of workouts are you doing to prepare yourself for like to get bigger to be able to hold your own for college next year?
Well, basically, I'm just basically upper body, and then like athletic stuff, like versatile stuff, like just stuff that's non-resistant. Sometimes non-resistance, because that's always weights is not the best thing for you. But sometimes non-resistance, like a lot of stretching, a lot of stretching, doing weight stuff. Just basically a lot of stretching and a lot of upper bodies and a lot of legs and a lot of cardio, lots of cardio. Because I don't want to get the
Mm-hmm.
camp be out of shape. That's the one thing I've been telling this whole time.
Mm-hmm. You don't. I mean, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but you can definitely tell when a college player doesn't really have that. They don't hit the cardio, or you can tell that there's something missing part of their game.
Yeah.
It all falls back on effort, and you hate to see it in a college guy. But how are you avoiding that path? Like making sure that your efforts top notch and that you're ready to compete with the top levels.
Well, just keep in my head. I still want to go to the NBA. So I'm just saying, what is going to get me on the court the fastest. And I know it's probably going to be defense, and I can score too. So I have to be really in shape to play defense and score for what is it, 40 minutes straight. So just because I have to play 40 minutes one day,
Hmm.
ready
Yeah.
for it, back down. I have the same type of energy I had from the start of the game.
And I mean, obviously, with the NBA and the goal, going to college, what are you most excited about when it comes to college ball?
Definitely, anytime you can get in the gym, getting stronger, playing against better competition, in practice and in games, stuff like that. The crowd, the college atmosphere. Yeah,
Hmm. And like, obviously, when you went on a visit to App State,
yeah.
what about that campus sticks out to you? Because I know a lot of people don't really realize how it's an amazing campus
Really nice
from the
camp.
pictures that I've seen.
Yeah, definitely the mountains, and when it's springtime, how nice the mountains look because the all the flowers and are changed different colors. So the mountains area and like its own little, so everybody knows everybody. So I just like
Okay.
how when it gets cold, it gets cold.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Have you connected with any of your your future teammates yet?
I mean, yeah, but most of them are in the portal. Well, some of them are in the portal right now. Only That's actually crazy. Only 5 players came back to App State this year. Either they
Oh,
graduated or they hit the portal. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty good coming back because it's going to be somewhat of a new thing to get back there.
yeah, and then that definitely opens up a spot
Yeah,
for you to flourish
yeah.
in that role in their offense and or just in the team in general. How are you looking forward to that? Like, not a lot of freshmen they get to see an opportunity on the court, but especially the position that you're going to be in.
Yeah.
How are you looking forward to it?
I'm just looking forward to showing the coach what I can do and showing the App State Nation what I can do and how good I could possibly be and how good I am going to be in the long run. So basically, just that. Basically,
And what are your individual or team goals for next season?
my individual and team goals, or just individual goals.
Do individual first, and then
Okay.
we'll go to team.
Individual is definitely get my teammates more involved. Um, Gain. I want to see results in the weight room, so gain around 10 to 20 pounds. Um, Getting better with basketball. And my team goals is just to know my teammates better on and off the court and build a good relationship with all my coaches. And basically just bring a lot of chemistry on the court to where I can learn off the court. And basically just be a real big just a big friend group with all my teammates.
Hmm. And what do you think the biggest adjustment you're going to have to make is for next year?
Definitely the coldness. The coldness is gonna be one of the coldness and maybe playing off the ball because I know I'm not gonna get the ball a lot at Appalachian, especially my first year. So learning how to play off the ball, setting screens, coming off screen, stuff like that. Not giving the group to myself, but create for others too.
And I feel like you don't hear about it a lot, but a lot of players go from being the number one option at their high school and then positioning yourself to be like not the number one in college your first year. And how are you preparing for that, like mentally?
I mean, mentally, kind of prepared for it because I played AAU with Team Charlotte, and their coach is Jeff McGinnis. He actually played in the NBA, and he just gave me tips, and I kind of just worked on what I did. Worked on what I did this. What I'm about to do this summer when I at App State. So some games I played off the ball, some games I put the ball in my hands and stuff like that. Just so just so I won't be so brand new when it all happens.
And having that connection with your AAU coach, how is that? Has that definitely helped you a lot throughout
100
your?
100%. Because he put me onto a lot of coaches when that day came, the June 15th day came. He put me onto a lot of coaches for calling my name, calling my phone, and he just basically just giving me tips on what to bring to the next level and what you're going to get and what you're not going to get at the next level, basically.
And for younger kids going into high school who maybe are hesitant about going into an AAU circuit or joining a team, what would you have to say to them?
I mean, honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I would wait till I'm in the eighth grade and I will just join the circuit then. Under eighth grade, I'll just work my butt off every other day and just get in the gym, get my ball handling. Because eighth grade, and no, I feel like that's when you're kind of mentally and physically prepared. and that's where you possibly get looks. Because I don't feel like in seventh grade you might get offers, but like are they real offers? So like I just feel like when you're in eighth, ninth grade, I think you should play on the circuit, but I think you should work your way up. Like I think you should start with UA, maybe go to Nike or Adidas after that. Cause yeah,
Hmm. In playing AAU, what was one of your favorite moments?
definitely going to Arizona. I went to Arizona and I played with some of my teammates. It was one of the court really fun because I have never been to Arizona and I don't think I never really been on the West Coast like that. So it was really fun. I got to spend it with those teammates. Everybody had a good time. We were all having fun on and off the court. So it was pretty fun down there.
All right, we'll go to some kind of like non-basketball questions, but what's your all-time starting five, NBA or college?
Um, he- at point guard through center.
Yep.
At point guard, I'm at to go Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Let me think. Shooting guard. Wait, you said NBA in college, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Kyrie. You got to go Kobe at the two. Um, LeBron at the three. Jeez, that's hard. Um, either Jokic or Giannis at the four. I think I'm going to take Jokic because Jokic has been playing really good.
He has.
Yeah. Nah. Take out my one. Take out my one. For the one, I'm putting Shea. Shea is really good. Yeah, Shea, and at the center spot. Um, at the center spot, who's really good? I can't, give me Shaq at center spot. Something
I was gonna say
that's a
that's who I would be rocking with is
yeah,
Shaq.
somebody as a bruiser.
Oh yeah, and then you got that Shaq and Kobe duo too.
Yeah, yeah, that team would be unstoppable. I don't think they ever lose a game.
And then, do you have like a if you had a if you had to rank shooting, handles, defense, and passing? What's your ranking of those?
Shooting at one, shooting at one, defense at two, and then probably I'm about to go dribbling then defense, but it should be vice versa. But shooting then defense. Dribbling then defense.
Okay. I remember I was watching some of your tape the other night. What's your was I saw like some of your sellies after you're shooting deep too. I was in the back of my head. I'm like, he's pulling up from like NBA range right now. But what's your go to celebration after a dunk or a shot?
I've seen a lot of people start doing like the three like this. I like to throw that celebration. I've seen a couple people do that, and I've been doing that ever since. But I know in college you cannot do that, so definitely that. So I wanted to get out in high school. I'm doing it in college, so
Do you like trash talking? Like does that help you like
yeah.
definitely get into the game?
If you know me, I'm a big trash talker. On the court, off the court, it can be in practice. I'll be trash talking to my teammates, but I'm never gonna take it off the court. It's all just love. But
Hmm.
games, I feel like it brings some type of intensity to the games and makes me play better, and maybe the other person play better, and it just makes it a better game. Honestly,
What's your what's your favorite trash that you've talked? If that's the best way to put it.
I'm trying to figure out a player I was maybe I can't really think of a player. I try to talk trash like every game. I'm trying to think of a playoff game I talk trash to. Well, I didn't really talk trash to Isaiah Evans, so maybe him. It was just I was talking to him a little bit, but he was talking smack back, so it was pretty fun. And he was just saying that because he actually got dunked on by my teammate Trent Steinauer, and I was letting him have it after that dunk. He was like, "Nah, I want to hear it. I'm going to do that," and it was. So I just say, "You got it, you got it."
uh, you got a pregame meal or like any pregame like superstitions that you
Yeah.
follow?
Basically, I just read a Bible verse before a game. Psalms, I think it's Psalms 21, 1 through 3, and I read that. I've been reading it like every other game. I read it every game actually, and I've been doing it since eighth grade. So I read that every game.
Hmm. And how would you say that? I mean, myself am a man of God. How would you say that he's helped you throughout your high school career so far?
He definitely. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do anything about him first of all, and I felt like he just kept my mind right and just gave me the confidence that I needed, and gave me the powers and gave me the athleticism I needed. And he just kept me around the right people and kept my parents high headed. They kept pushing me. 'Cause I feel like he thinks he. I feel like I have a real shot when I'm with God because I'm 100% with God. I feel like I'm gonna have a real shot. Maybe go to the league one day because He's on my side, and I'm gonna constantly put that work in.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And I feel like I was talking about this the other day that a lot of athletes, especially like they when they try to talk about God, the media just tries to suppress
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and they don't allow these players to express themselves how they feel religiously. And it personally is like one of the best things in the world when I see like athletes just promoting God and saying that like yes, without him I would not be where I'm at, because I feel like that's the most important thing to know on this earth.
I agree with you.
Uh, what Bible verse did you say you read before every game?
Here, let me make sure. I believe I actually have it all. It's Psalm. Okay, it's Psalms 121, 1-4.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
then why does that one stick out to you the most?
I just feel like every time I'm down, it says I lift up my eyes to the Christ. I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where does my help come from? I just feel like when I'm down in a game, I can always get back into the game because I feel like sometimes I'm having a bad game and everything just goes downhill and I'm playing like terrible. When I'm reading that quote, I'm sitting in the back of my head when I'm having a bad game. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And with that, I just feel like the game's not over with and I can still play pretty good. So basically, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And a lot of people they think that God gives up on them when
Yeah,
they have a down moment in their life,
yeah,
but it truly is a part of God's plan, and that you just have to be able to trust his timing, that whatever you're going through you are going to make it through, and that if you stay true to the word of the Lord, that his plan for you will be
yeah.
fulfilled.
Yes, sir. I
And
believe
it's
for a reason too. So, yes, sir.
yeah, it's truly it's beautiful. Is
Yes, sir.
like yeah, but if you could, well, we're just bouncing around questions and topics here, but any NBA player, college player, who would you dunk on if you could?
Honestly, if it's like a putback dunk, this might sound crazy. If he's like this, it's like he's just trying to grab the rebound and he's not trying his hardest, and it's like a putback dunk. I feel like I could dunk on Victor Wembanyama, but I'm not gonna lie. I think I
Oh,
I think I could because like he's tall as crap, but like I just easily push off and just dunk it on because I do that to so many people and they don't even realize it. But like
mm-hmm.
if we're jumping straight up, he definitely has me. But other than that, I think I can get him back and under the go.
It's. I mean,
It
I feel
sounds
like you're
it's
nah. I'm agreeing with you because your personality, it really reminds me of Ant. Like you got that like that dog trash talk mentality, and I mean Wemby's been dunked on before. I
yeah,
mean, it's not like an impossible feat.
like friends
So
too dunking on him. I think the dude from Indiana, I forgot his name, but he plays in Atlanta. He's dunked on him. He's like everybody like 60.
I can't think of his. He's not even in the league anymore. But he played for. He went off the wall for a little bit. Kai. He played at Texas. I can't think of his name right now
Oh,
though.
like Kai Jones. His last
Yeah,
name.
Kai Jones.
Yeah,
He dunked on Wemby last year in
I
the
think
summer league.
I think I did see that on his Instagram, like going ham. This is your number one. I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think that.
Who's the funniest teammate you've ever had?
Funniest. Man, I can't really think of one right. Funniest teammates. I mean, with when I was I mean, I was teammates with this kid named Trevor Moore. He's actually at Arizona State, he was pretty funny when we had to spend a lot of time together. He was pretty funny. And yeah, probably Trevor Moore. He was really funny.
Okay, okay, okay. And then if you could go one on one, any NBA player, who would it be, and then what's the score?
And the NBA player,
Yup.
the person I would probably like beat, somebody
Mm-hmm.
I beat. Honestly, I don't think. I'm sorry. Give me Bronny James, bro. Give me Bronny. I feel like I feel like I
That's
can
a
beat.
that's a very valid response though.
I feel like I can. The score would it be going to like 12 or 7?
Let's say let's play to 12.
Okay, probably like 12-9, 12-10.
Okay, I like
Like
the
it,
confidence.
it'll be a good game. Then I'll start pulling away at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I appreciate you so much
sir. Of
for
course,
uh, for coming on.
yes, sir.
Uh,
Thank
Best of luck at App State next year.
you, sir.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into another episode of The Script. We got another episode coming out tomorrow, but God bless, stay true, and have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.